43% of Americans say their number one financial goal is to become a millionaire. 43%. And almost none of them have any idea what they're actually wishing for. Here's what I mean. Picture a guy named Marcus. He's 44, lives in Columbus, Ohio, drives a gray Honda Accord with 112,000 miles on, works as a project manager at a mid-size logistics company. He's been quietly stuffing money into his 401k since he was 21. Every raise he got, he bumped his contribution a little. Every bonus, he didn't touch it. He brown-bagged lunch for 11 straight years. And last November, on a random Tuesday, he opened his Fidelity app, and for the first time, the number started with a 1. $1 million. And Marcus did something that surprised even him. He closed the app, put his phone in his pocket, and went back to watching the Browns lose. No champagne, no tears, no Instagram post, nothing. The truth about $1 million invested in 2026 is messier, stranger, and honestly, more interesting than any highlight reel you've ever seen. The S&P 500's dividend yield in 2026 is sitting around 1.06%. That is a historically low number. Companies are doing stock buybacks. But what does 1.06% on $1 million actually look like in your bank account? $10,600 a year. You cannot live on $29 a day in America. Not even close. That passive income fantasy, it needs a lot more zeros. Maybe you're thinking about the 4% rule. Pull out $40,000 a year and let the rest grow. Morningstar puts it at 3.9% for 2026. Here's what $39,000 a year looks like in Columbus in 2026. Average two-bedroom rent, $1,300 a month. That's $15,600 a year just to sleep. The average American spends $9,800 a year on food. That's already $25,400 gone. And Marcus hasn't paid for a single doctor's visit. So no, $1 million invested does not mean you stop working tomorrow. It means you have a serious, meaningful safety net. The psychological shift that comes with hitting 1 million is not what you think, and it is completely invisible from the outside. Before the million, a $6,000 car repair meant a hard conversation with his wife and a month of tight budgets. After the million, a $6,000 car repair is an annoyance, not a crisis, not a sleepless night, just an annoyance. Northwestern Mutual asked actual millionaires, people with 1 million or more in investable assets, whether they considered themselves wealthy. 64% said no. Almost 2 out of 3 millionaires don't feel wealthy. They feel comfortable, secure, relieved, but wealthy? Most reject the label entirely. Schwab's 2025 survey found the average American now says it takes $2.3 million to be considered wealthy. In San Francisco, $4.4 million. This is called hedonic adaptation. Your brain is genuinely terrible at being satisfied. The moment you reach a goal, it calculates the next one. It took Marcus 23 years to save his first million, but here's what happens next, and this is where it gets genuinely ridiculous. If Marcus does nothing, no contributions, no withdrawals, his million becomes 2 million in about 9 years. Not 23, 9. 2 million becomes 4 million 9 years after that. Then 4 becomes 8. Same 9 years each time. The same amount of time. He spent 2 decades grinding to reach 1 million. And now, the second million is showing up while he's sleeping. Most of Marcus's million is in a traditional 401k. And here's what almost nobody warns you about when you hit the milestone. Every dollar he pulls out in retirement gets taxed as ordinary income. At 22 to 25%, his million is really about $750,000. The IRS has been a silent partner in his account for 23 years. He just hasn't gotten the invoice yet. A Roth million and a traditional million look identical on the screen until the moment you spend it. Then they're not even close. The difference in real purchasing power is $250,000 to $300,000. That's a car, a college education, or a decade of retirement security. The single highest leverage decision you can make right now is asking yourself, where is this money going to live? That answer matters enormously. First thing that should change after crossing the line, umbrella liability insurance. Costs $200 to $400 a year. Most millionaires never buy it. Second, estate documents. A will, a trust if you have kids, powers of attorney. Boring paperwork that becomes genuinely important at 1 million plus. Third, Rethink your asset allocation. A 30% market drop in your first year of withdrawals can permanently damage your plan. It's called sequence of returns risk. But here's what should absolutely not change: Marcus's lifestyle. Ramsey's study found 94% of millionaires consistently live below their means. Every single one. Lifestyle creep is the slow, invisible expansion of spending that happens when people feel like they finally earned it. And it repossesses everything. It feels like getting a $6,000 car repair bill and not breaking a sweat, like your mom calling about a broken furnace and just fixing it. It does not feel like freedom from working. Not yet. It feels like freedom from fear, and that is a completely different thing. The voice that used to wake Marcus up at 2 a.m. doing worst-case scenario math after 23 years finally went quiet. That's the real prize. So here's my question for you. What number in your portfolio do you think is going to make you finally feel like you've made it?
And if this video gave you a different way to think about money, subscribe to Finn Thinks. New video every week. I'll see you in the next one.